I suppose I should kick off with an apology. Last week's Wandering Aloud in the gallery went horribly wrong. I did make a film, and I thought I was posting it, but in fact I deleted it and posted a copy of a previous film. So my apologies. It was all about what I argued was one of rock and roll, certainly heavy metal's great songs, and its lyrics, particularly its lyrics. The song in question is Heaven and Hell by Dio-era Black Sabbath. The lyric rhyming couplet that really grabbed my attention was the following. The world is full of kings and queens who blind your eyes and steal your dreams. It's heaven and hell. Boy, oh boy, isn't that appropriate for our late era world of global capitalism? Now, the song, like all great works of art, could mean different things to different people. Dio himself has said in interviews that it's about thinking for yourself. So, of course, it could mean different things to different people, and it should. Right now, it's resonating with me because Brazil's in a federal election year. Everything's up for grabs. And of course, what that means is that local politicians eyeing a seat in Congress get up to all sorts of tricks. A classic example in our district is suddenly people are being offered these convenient little jobs. It's a sort of indirect buy your vote scheme. And they seem to be acts of great largesse, generosity. Of course, the jobs in question are in schools, and the money for the jobs aren't coming from the deep pockets of a potential congressman. They are coming from cuts to teachers' salaries, conveniently not mentioned and not discussed. But that seems to be, I hasten to add, the truth of the matter. Now, this isn't news in Brazil. These kind of buy your favors for cheap at the price, tempting treats. Well, Brazil was founded on all of that. If you go back in history, and how much of this is true, well, I will leave that for someone else to decide. But the people who conquered the Americas offered shiny glass beads to the local folk. Did they really? I'm not sure, but that's the way it's often told. And local people thought these were kind, generous possibilities, and when in fact they were masking more Machiavellian plans for the land. And so it carries on. And that kind of reading fits in well with the song. And you can look at it from a political perspective, socio-political perspective. You can look at it from the view of religion. One can. But what I was talking about last week, what I chose to direct my attention, was our friends on the internet. And they're offering you something seductive too. You know, buy my course, follow my clever plan, and you too can be enormously successful just like me. It's the same thing. Here's some shiny glass beads. Is it what you need or what you want? Maybe not. And, you know, I can't let go of the sort of the story of the conquest of American Indians, whether in the northern or southern hemisphere. Perhaps the local folk accepted the beads rather like you accept a bottle of wine when someone comes to have dinner with you. You accept it because that's a polite thing to do. Certainly in the Northern Hemisphere, but I think in the Southern Hemisphere too, if one examines the culture, there was no idea that people thought that they were buying land or kind of acquiring it. Because for a lot of Indian cultures, land was simply something that you did not own. It was land. It was where you were. People coexisted. And a lot of, bringing it back to my kind of the theme of how our dreams are stolen, people offer you these ideas, they get their hooks in, but the fact is these ideas are just ideas for you to try, for you to experiment with. And as Dio would have it, think for yourself. You don't need to buy the course for 997, the convenient 997, or even the somewhat less common 447. They love their sevens. It's seven's the new 9 in the world of internet marketing. No, they give you an idea, and at that point it's for you to experiment with the idea, for you to explore it, get a little scientific about it, test things out and see what works for you. But they blind your eyes. They offer you the world. But is it a world you even want? Is it a world that certainly you need? No, you don't need that world. You probably have all that you need already. What you need to do is explore new ideas, try those, share those. There we are. I love that song, Heaven and Hell by Black Sabbath. And that's one little lyric snippet. The whole song is full of fantastic ideas, and I think well worth a listen. Of course, if you don't like your rock and roll on the heavy side, perhaps it's not for you. If that's the case, hit the mute button and just read the lyrics like a poem. That's it for this week. Trust all is well with you, that life is treating you with the best of health and most exciting of possibilities. Until next week, ciao from the gallery.